Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about my MBA EA prep experience with Target Test Prep and Magoosh.
Again, my name is Dr. Roger Tomihama, and I'm an Associate Professor of Interventional Radiology at Loma Linda University School of Medicine. I've been accepted to the MBA program for the executives at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania starting summer 2022. I have just gone through the entire process of applying for an MBA as a full-time practicing physician. My goal is to save you countless hours of research that I did in learning about this process and condense it down to a series of high-yield, short, informative YouTube videos. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming great content for business school for the physicians. Okay, so I studied for anywhere from 2.5 months to 3 months, I think, for the executive assessment. And that was using approximately 20 hours a week during this duration. The materials that I used was the official GMAT, and EA test practice questions, and so on and so forth. I also used the Target Test Prep program for the executive assessment. That's an online test prep course. And I also used the Magoosh GMAT test prep course, which is also another online test prep course. Okay, first let's go over Target Test Prep for the EA. Again, I'll put the link below. The great program. Let's go over some of the pros on this program. One, it is reasonably priced. I think it's like $99 a month or $300 for a 4-month subscription, and you can stop the subscription and re-sign up as what you need, and it's very reasonably priced. It's also very thorough. This is a comprehensive content review for the GMAT and EA. There will be no gaps in content that will not be covered for a question that you will encounter during the exam. The third thing that's really great about Target Test Prep was their quiz bank. It's very extensive. There's like almost too much questions, I think, but you will not have a shortage of questions with this course. And fourth, what I thought helpful was they had a really good sort of systematic study prep system for you. Like they will actually say, okay, do these modules in this particular order, and it's really designed to help optimize your learning and also to help cover the material that is most efficient for you in the time frame that you need. If you're looking for a one-stop shop, look no further. They have everything you need. What I also liked is they also discuss a lot of their rationale for their study techniques and their study strategy, and it really made sense to me, and so I thought it was really good. Okay, so those are the pros. Let's go over the cons of Target Test Prep. One thing I found that I wish it was different was they only provide video review for the problem sets at the end of a specific chapter. That's nice. It was really good, but I really wish they had video tutorials of the chapter content in general. I'm kind of like the person I like to read, but I also like to absorb things visually and like hearing it. So, I wish they had that as part of their course. Second thing I thought was a con was, this course being how comprehensive it is not really meant for like a 1 to 2 month quick prep, to cover everything. There's no way to do that course in 1 to 2 months unless you're studying 8 to 10 hours a day specifically on this, on the topic or on the course. The sections are really great because they break it down, for verbal, there's all the different subsections that you need to go over. But even within each section, there is a number of chapters that for each section. So just for example, the sections are broken down, I think, into too many chapters. Like for instance, there was 86 chapters just on number properties alone within the quantitative reasoning section. It is because there's so many chapters, I think it takes a long time to finish the section and thus the entire course. So for example, I did this one section on number properties, which was 86 chapters, and I took all the drilling tests and it took me about 4 weeks for 20 hours a week to complete this section alone. If you want to use this course as it was designed from start to finish, I recommend you probably need at least about 6 months to cover the content from the beginning to end. Okay. Other thing that I found that wasn't as helpful is the EA prep course is essentially a repackaged version of kind of the main GMAT prep course. So as I mentioned, there are some slight differences between the scoring of the GMAT and the EA, i.e. the integrated reading section. So in the GMAT, or in the target test prep EA course, the IR section is a little sparse. It could be more robust. The one thing that also I thought was that I wish they improved on was that in the EA test itself, you can actually go between question and question within the subsection. So you can, if you don't like the answer that you put, you can go back to a prior question. The target test for EA course is set where it's sort of like the GMAT. So once you submit for a particular question, that question is done, you move on to the next. Okay. The second course that I did, or that online course that I also purchased, was the Magoosh GMAT prep course. And again, I'll put the link below. So let's go over some of the pros of the Magoosh program. First, it is very reasonably priced. I think it's like $250 for a 1-year subscription, and that gives you access to all the content, all the question banks, and so on and so forth. It's also, another pro is it's very comprehensive, just like Target Test Prep. It goes over everything. There'll be no gaps in knowledge that you will encounter for a question you will take on the exam. Third pro is their question bank is decent. It's like kind of moderately sized. I thought, it's good. I wish it was a little bigger, but it's a small thing. What I liked about the quiz bank was that it was sortable by question topic. So if you wanted to drill like a specific topic on, I see, integer properties or something, or prime factorization, you can sort those specific questions and drill those questions, and then once you're good with it, then you can move on to a randomized test question set. And the next pro that helpful, which I thought the best part of the program, was that there were video tutorials for every chapter. So, I found, unlike, I don't mind reading like books to absorb content, but I just found it a lot easier to absorb content when someone's like giving you a lecture, you're watching them do their whiteboard work, and then it's just sort of easy to sort of like pull up the video when you have some downtime, like I did it between cases, or when I'm at home, I just pull it up on your phone, you watch a couple lessons, and you're done. You've absorbed that content in the middle of your day, and I thought it was quite helpful. The other great thing about the video tutorials is that the content is also fully transcribed, so you actually have a full transcribed chapter of the lecture that you can go back and read and pull notes off of if you need. And it was a really great complement to the video content. I thought it was like the best of both worlds as far as like video and written content for your review. The other thing I found really great about the Magoosh test program was that I think the depth of their content was just right. Like it didn't go, it gave you enough to learn the tools you need to take the test and score well without getting too detailed and being lost in the weeds on, some too much detail. So, and a last thing that I found really helpful with the Magoosh program was they also provided an online, or like an iPhone or mobile app. So they have they have two mobile apps. First is their flashcard app. So they have a flashcard with all the most common formulas and things you will have to know for like the quantitative read section, which is really helpful because you really need to remember those formulas for the exam. And the other thing they have an idioms app, again, for your verbal review, very helpful in understanding some of the rules that you need to drill in so that you can score well on sentence correction and so on and so forth. So let's go over some of the, now we went over the pros, let's go over some of the cons. So although the Magoosh test prep program was great, there are some cons. Again, there's no specific EA version of the course. It's only the GMAT version. So I wish, that's a small con for us who are going to take the EA. The second thing is that I wish the IR section was a little more bigger, their question bank. But again, this is understandable. It's a GMAT review course and not specific for the EA, so that's understandable. The third thing I wish was improved was their post-chapter drilling questions could be a little more extensive. I think most times it was like 5 to 7 questions at the end of each chapter, which is good. It will help you drill down what you need to know. But I wish it was a little more so you can just drill a little more so that you can solidify the content and knowledge. Last thing, there was no real strategy, global strategy for the program. Like if essentially they just laid it out for you. You have all the verbal, you have all the quantitative, you have the integrated reasoning. You can go over it, you can go it just in, in sequential order if you want. I think it would be helpful to maybe if they had a plan for if you wanted to mix up the sections, go at this one first, that section, so that helps in understanding or digesting the content a little better or more efficiently, so you can take the exam. Okay, another thing I'd like to mention is flashcards, actually. So that's one thing I also use to help me study for the exam. Like I actually downloaded a flashcard app on my phone that was helpful, so you can write down flashcards that you may not have that already. And it's really helpful because if you're sitting down and you just need to you want to go through drilling the formulas that you need to remember for the exam, like the interest rate formula or prime factorization formula or whatever you need to know. It's helpful to just have those flashcards on your phone so you can just drill it maybe once a day, just go through it, and hopefully you can help solidify your knowledge base there. Okay, so my recommendations for after going through using these different study content material, I think if Target Test Prep and Magoosh had a baby, I think they would be the ultimate EA test prep. I think if you combine the video tutorials from Magoosh with the drilling question sets and question bank from Target Prep, that's kind of the best of both worlds, I think. And so what I did, and eventually when I got into the room and figured out what worked for me, I used the Magoosh lectures and their video reviews for understanding the content and learning the content and use their questions. But then I also used the Target Test Prep question bank to help reinforce the testing material that I learned so that I could prepare for the exam better. Okay, well that concludes this video. Again, thank you for watching the video. Again, please hit the like button if you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming great content for MBA or business school for the physicians.